This is Rebecca from ChemKnits, and I'm here today with another dyeing experiment. In the past, we've done some dip dyeing with Wilton's Violet food coloring, but I did it with yarn. Today, I'm going to do the dip dyeing with some dry braided roving. This is roving that I crocheted into this braid / crochet chain, and I am going to be dip dyeing it in the dye bath dry. If you want to see me crochet roving, there's a standalone video on the channel, and also you can find this at the beginning of some of my other recent video tutorials. Now in this pot that I've got heating up, I have approximately 8 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And now I am going to add some Wilton's Violet food coloring. I'm taking a hefty edge of a forkful and stirring that in, giving us a brilliantly purple dye bath. The water is not yet that hot, so I'm okay using the plastic spoon. And gotta get all the dye off. Now, Wilton's food coloring breaks into blue and purple because of the different dye molecules that are present in the food coloring itself. As we're waiting for the dye bath to come to a boil, I want to talk about my planned apparatus. I have some kitchen tongs right here, and I'm holding the middle of the crochet braid. And I'm going to use a slotted spoon to help submerge the dyed braid into the dye bath. What I'm expecting to see is some breaking of the purple around the ends and going to some blue and hopefully some tonal variations of that blue in the center of my braid. Now the dye bath is just barely starting to bubble, and so I am going to reduce the heat. With roving, I want to take special care not to felt the fiber. I have never done this before, so we will have to see what happens. I am also grabbing a plate to have on hand to stick the fiber in if I decide not to leave it in the dye bath. Okay, I'm ready to dip the fiber. Now, if you ever made candles, dipped candles in elementary school or anything, I'm kind of going to go a little bit with that technique and dip and raise. And dip some more and raise some more. Whoa, this is heavy. And slowly in. Ooh, hot. This is why I'm using tongs, people. And slowly out. And slowly in. It'll be sad if this is the one time that I actually felt my fiber. So I've got a lot of pink going all the way up. We'll see. Either I'll get a nice gradient or I won't. You know, it's the reason why this is an experiment. You can see I am not adding the tip in quite yet because I'm hoping that that'll be all blue. But the dye bath is still pretty purple, so you know, there are many factors. Let's see. Oh look, okay, I think that'll be pretty blue now. Oh yeah, there we go. So maybe I have less blue than I was initially hoping for. Ah. Okay, let's put all this in the dye bath for a bit. Maybe we'll get a section of brilliant blue. So this gradient may not be perfect, may not be exactly what I was going for, but certainly I did break Wilton's Violet over the course of this braid. So now I'm going to leave this here for, let's say, 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. Okay, 6 minutes have passed, and it looks like I'm getting some pink and purple around my top blue section. That kind of surprised me a little bit. But anyway, you can't really tell, but the water is basically clear, and I am going to turn off the heat entirely. And whew, okay, I would like to let this cool in the pot, but I also kind of want to remove it. Ah! What do I do? What do I do? Okay, well, I guess this has already gotten a lot of purple in the top, and that's not really gonna change. So I'm just gonna leave it, let this cool, and then once it is cool, oh, sorry, Roddy. I will come back when I take it out. Okay, we've cooled off, and I can finally take my dipped dyed roving out of the pot. Can I just kind of grab the center and pull up. Now I'm going to want to let it cool completely before I try to clean it. Take a look at it over here. I'm not sure how much of a gradient I have. It does, I think I do maybe go from darker to lighter, but that could be a little drier right now. So it's hard to say for sure yet. Anyway, I will come back when it's cooled enough for me to wash it. It's time to wash the fiber. I am just using this plate today for whatever reason, but I'm going to add a little bit of Dawn dish soap onto the fiber and rinse it until the water runs clean. Hopefully in this technique, which I've never done before, I have not resulted in getting a icky felted mess of any kind. But oh, and looking, you can see we've got some nice deep blue in the center and some paler blue in the center of that bottom section, and up here we might have close to what is white in the middle. So I'm not sure how much of a gradient we've got, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cute. And I will be back when the fiber is dry and I can show you what we ended up with. The roving is dry and I am finally ready to unravel the braid. Now, you know, the fiber is a little sticky, but I do not think that I felted it. Phew! The fiber was a lot heavier than I had expected when I was dip dyeing it. So I think if I were to do this again, I would just do a really slow dip so I didn't have to raise the fiber back up at all. Ooh, we've got some whitish patches and then some deeper blue patches at the front. All right, and I think, oh, this is definitely still very, very spinnable. Okay, let's fold it in half and kind of see what we've got here. We do have a transition from more pink to less pink and some more blue to less blue. So the dip dyeing did work to break the colors, but this isn't quite what I was hoping for. I was hoping for there to be more of a transition from the bright pink to the blue, like I've seen with dip dyeing yarn in Wilton's Violet in the past. Now, I think my mistake was that I dipped too much of the center section too soon. I think I was so afraid of it all ending up very pale blue that I wanted to get just a little bit pink, but since the red binds to the yarn so quickly, I ended up having a lot of pink and then my blue section. I am, however, happy with the pink and blue sections that go throughout, and I think that this will be really, really pretty when spun up. The gradient, since the gradient isn't quite what I hoped for, I don't think I would do a gradient spin with then an end ply or something directional to ply it and go from, you know, both ends to the center. But I think that by, you know, going down, spinning down the whole length of the fiber, I will get some really nice breaks from the pink with this blue section, and I think that we could end up with a really, really pretty yarn. Anyway, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and thank you so much for hanging out with me for this dyeing experiment.